Hello, and welcome everyone. Today's video features the Lugdunum, a brand new pan-European Tier 7 battleship that is based primarily from what I've seen on the Lyon. The similarities are striking in terms of armor and visual aesthetics. It does deviate ever so slightly from the Lyon, which we'll cover momentarily, but first let me tell you, this ship is in testing currently on the PTS server, and you will see it on the live server in the upcoming update 13.9. So this will give you an idea should you encounter a super tester or a CC testing this ship in the upcoming update. So this is the Lugdunum, a Tier 7 premium pan-European battleship. I'm unable to show you gameplay as yet, but make sure to hit the subscribe button. As soon as gameplay is available, it will be uploaded to the channel, so don't miss out. And thank you for all your support. So again, let me reiterate, the Lugdunum is in testing at the moment and is subject to balancing changes throughout the testing process. That being said, let's start our preview guide by having a look at the armor layout here in port. So using the simple armor viewer, we can see this is identical armor layout as the French Tier 7 Tech Tree battleship, the Lyon. 26mm plating upper and lower. Here we get 180mm 4-inch armor belt, 140, a torpedo protection of 30mm. Quickly take that off. Belt armor 240, 300 and 190, covering the citadel armor. The upper casemate is quite solid, 180mm. The main deck armor 30, two sections, one higher, one lower. This section is 26mm. Over here, the superstructure is 16. Here at the stern, aft end plating upper and lower of 26mm. Some very nice additional protection for the turrets here. 120, 200mm this under section, and here the bottom section is 150. Quite solid. Very same as the Lyon, the current Tech Tree Tier 7. That being said, let's look at the ship's citadel. Again, nicely protected, well submerged under the waterline. You do only have 13mm of thwartship armor. It is vulnerable to be overmatched there through the stern. Again, same 13mm here on the bow, but it's deep under the waterline. The citadel deck armor is 40mm, 22 side plating. So this ties into the survivability. 53,400 hit points with a torpedo protection damage reduction of 16%. Again, this is the exact same HP as the Lyon. This is further reinforced by having 5 repair parties. You can repair 320 hit points per second for just over 30 seconds with this repair. I am using India Delta, of course. These are just the upgrades I'm using. I am running with steering gears. This is the build, pretty standard build. Nothing really out of the ordinary, but just in testing on the PTS server at the moment. So let's look at the main battery guns. Lugdunum gets 16 of these 340mm barrels. Now they are housed in 4 quadruple mounted gun turrets, 2 fore and 2 aft. They have a 25-second reload, which is significantly faster than the Lyon. They can rotate 180 degrees in 42.9 seconds. They have a max dispersion of 220 meters and a firing range of 17.4 kilometers. Now, this is 6 seconds faster than Lyon, and you also have tighter max dispersion. The downside, however, compared to Lyon, is in the amount of damage dealt by both its high explosive and armor piercing. Max damage on Lugdunum is 4,100. You get a 26% fire chance, they can pen 57mm of armor, and the shell velocity on the high explosive is 921 meters per second. The armor piercing damage is also reduced 7,800, and the shell speed is slightly slower at 780 meters per second. So this seems to be the trade-off with the main battery. You get much faster reload but reduced damage on both your high explosive and armor piercing. This is in comparison to Lyon, of course. In terms of secondary battery, identical range, the identical number of secondary battery mounts, 4 twin-mounted 130mm, 3.8 second reload, max range of 6.9 kilometers, firing high explosive shells, 1900 damage, 10% fire chance, shells can penetrate 22mm of armor and have a shell speed of 840 meters per second. These quad-mounted 130mm, 16 in total, 4 quadruple mounted gun turrets. They have a reload time of 3.8 seconds, same amount of damage, 1900, 10% fire chance, 22%. They can pen 22mm of armor and have a shell speed of 840 meters per second. So 24 of these 130mm secondary battery guns. In terms of airstrike, Lugdunum gets 2 available flights, 1 aircraft per attacking flight, dropping 1 bomb with a max damage of 3,400. This is also very much reduced in comparison to Lyon. Same operational range at 9 kilometers. In terms of AA defense, a rating of 74, 14 of these single-mounted 20mm, 8 of these twin-mounted 20mm, 16 single-mounted 40mm, and these 4 quad-mounted 40mm guns, and all of the secondary batteries, the 4 twin-mounted and the 4 quad-mounted, are all dual-purpose. Now, all of these combined pump out continuous average damage of 270, firing 4 shell explosions per flak salvo with a max damage of 1470. Again, slightly reduced values in comparison to Lyon. Priority sector reinforcement is 35% and the firing range is 6 kilometers on these AA guns. When it comes to maneuverability, max speed 28.4 knots. This is utilizing the Sierra Mike flag. Base speed 27 with the speed flag 28.4. Turning circle radius 700 meters and a rudder shift time of 11.3 kilometers. Again, identical values to the Lyon, the French tier 7 3. So finally, stats wise, we come to the ship's concealment. Concealment rating of 54, utilizing the captain skill. Concealment expert, you can bring the concealment down to 12.7 kilometers, which is very good for tier 7 considering it doesn't get access to the concealment upgrade that only starts at tier 8. So very, very good concealment, way better than Lyon, for example. You'll be surface detected by enemy submarines at 7.6 and the same by enemy aircraft, 7.6 kilometers. So this is the Lugdunum, a new addition to the pan-European battleships in the game. Very nice reload as opposed to Lyon, but with reduced damage. And having very, very good concealment. Now I will reiterate, Lugdunum is in testing. It is subject to balancing changes throughout the testing process, so take that into account. It's not yet the finished article. When it comes out of NDA and gameplay is available, I will update the channel with a proper gameplay review guide. So make sure to hit that subscribe button that you don't miss out on any future updates. I'd like to draw your attention to my short video section where we cover on a daily basis famous maritime naval events in history, and my community post section that elaborates in more detail on said events. If you'd like to see some live gameplay, feel free to come over and visit me on Twitch. You can see the link here on screen. I look forward to seeing you all.